Hello. How is everybody doing today? Josh, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's Friday. It's
Thank
1
God.
o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm feeling it.
All I can think about is going home and taking a nap.
Is that
and
really
getting
it?
ready to go out tonight.
Okay.
Listen, if I'm taking a nap on a Friday afternoon, that means I'm doing something tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And I am very excited for the weekend. I hope everyone that is joining us is having a good day so far. And hopefully, we wrap up the day within the pit. Thank you guys for joining. We are episode 412, I believe. So,
Whoa.
Episode 412. Make sure to like and subscribe. We are live on YouTube today for the people listening on a podcast. We're live on YouTube. So make sure to fill the comment section. Put in your some questions, some topics you might want us to talk about. Tell us how your day is going, what's going on in your life. Today, as you can see, obviously, is just me and Josh. Big Nick is a little under the weather, so he is not here. He is okay, but he is not here today. So me and Josh are here to, keep the show going, because that's what goes on here. You keep it going. Next man up mentality. So people listening on a podcast, well, anyone, get behind the paywall, get on Patreon. We're live here today, but on Mondays and Wednesdays, we're also live on Patreon, live streaming. So if you guys want to watch us on In the Pit and not just listen to us in a podcast version, you can get behind the paywall, check us out there, and check us out live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, yeah, I think that's all I got, and hopefully this will be a good show for you guys.
This will be a great show for you guys, I promise.
You think so? You feel you have
Friday.
you have a lot of energy right now.
I got fruit snacks. Why wouldn't I be energized? You want a fruit snack?
Yeah, you have one.
You have a favorite flavor?
I'll take this one if you don't mind.
Bet grape's my favorite.
All right. Now I'm feeling great. That's exactly what I needed. All right. Let's start off strong. We have some sports topic. We'll talk about sports, and then we'll kind of ease into other stuff going on. First excuse me.
Oh, voice crack.
Yo, I don't like that. Maybe I'm not doing so great. First topic, I don't know if this was last night that he said it or the day before. Shaq, I think it was the day before because there were no games last night. Shaq on NBA on TNT, they were talking about the Miami Heat, how they're playing against the Sixers, and Shaq says that he believes Tyler Hero is on the same level as Luka Doncic and Trae Young.
No, he didn't. He said that on live television.
Same tier, but yeah.
I know. Though you can walk into a room and these are the guys.
He believes that he affects his team and not carries his team, but similar to what Luka and Trae do to the Mavs and Hawks, he does to the Heat.
First off, I would not put Luka and Trae on the same level.
What would you?
I'll put Luka a level above Trae because I think Trae affects his team on the offensive end,
but
he doesn't affect his team in winning
and
tendencies on the defense.
Luka isn't a world-renowned defender either, but he's better. He's a bigger body for sure. Listen, Tyler Hero is great.
Tyler Hero is a lot closer to Trae Young.
I agree. Tyler Hero went number 13 in the 2019 draft, I believe. One pick before Boston. I was so upset because I wanted Tyler Hero so bad. He is a very good player. He's the leading scorer on Miami Heat, and they're the number 1 seed. That's not something to take lightly, but there's levels to it.
Yeah.
Even though he was the leading scorer, he's not the best player. I don't even think I think he's maybe third, but
fully healthy Heat team, he's the third best player.
I think
because it's definitely
Butler.
It goes
Bam.
Butler, Bam. And then he has to fight for whether he's better than Kyle Lowry.
Maybe Lowry,
yeah.
But that's debatable. So he's, if anything, fringe top 3. He's top 3 just at number 3.
On his own team.
On his own team.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think Tyler Hero's great.
Stuff.
Shaq loves saying controversial things like that because it gets people like us to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, Luka Doncic is the leading playoff scorer of all time in points per game. He averages the most points per game in playoff history, more than Michael Jordan, more than anyone.
Wait, points per game?
He averages 34-point-something points per game.
That's okay. So I'm trying to figure out whether that blows my mind. It kind of blows my mind.
He's played 18 games.
Okay,
so
my next question was how many games has he played? 18's more than I thought.
I think
he's never run. This is his first series he's won, correct? The previous one he just won. That was his first time getting out of a series.
No, they beat the Clippers in the bubble.
Okay.
They blew the 3-1 lead, I think, and they won that one.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not obviously he hasn't played as many playoff games as Jordan. I don't know if these numbers will stay where it is, but 18 or so games isn't a small sample size. That's a decent.
If you
sample
could
size.
pair him with someone, who would you pair him with?
Kevin Durant.
Durant, Luka.
If Kevin Durant leaves Brooklyn, I think he would thrive in Dallas.
You wouldn't want someone to take the ball out of his hands more? Like a guard?
Maybe, but like I feel like Luka, like he can play that position he can be the point guard for that
Yeah.
team. They just need another guy that can score on his own. I think that's the biggest thing with Dallas. Because once Luka, like obviously Jalen Brunson's there, and he had a phenomenal
It's gonna be
first
tough to
round
keep
series.
him.
It's gonna be tough to keep him. He had a phenomenal first round series, but he also was going up against a Jazz defense that was mediocre at best. At least the guys defending him. But it's like besides that, Tim Hardaway, Finney Smith,
Spencer
Dinwiddie, right? They traded for him.
Kleba.
They traded him to Washington to get. They traded him to Washington with Kristaps. So Maxey isn't even on that team anymore.
Who?
Maxey Kleber. I'm pretty sure he's on Washington.
He's on the Mavs.
He was on the Mavs.
No, I guarantee he's on the Mavs.
All right, let's see.
I would bet my life because he's the one who took that really scary fall the other night, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Maxi Kleber could have died."
He is on. All right, so who else? They traded.
Davis Bertans.
Bertans. That's who I was.
Isn't he
thinking
on
of.
the Mavs?
He got traded to the Mavs. I was
yeah,
confusing
yeah.
myself. That's what it was. But point still stands. The drop off is significant. There's no one really else on that team. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie's okay, but like he's not. You can't count on him to take over games if Luka's not there.
Yeah.
So
Mavs are an interesting case study for the future, for sure.
And
especially when you got an owner who's willing to buy anyone's contract.
Mark Cuban?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
willing to spend any money he wants.
absolutely. I mean, they took risks. I mean, they took a risk on Kristaps. That just didn't work out.
You need an owner who's willing to do that, for sure.
Steve Ballmer is a great owner
Yeah.
for the Clippers. He's a guy that is
Yep.
like that too. Luka and Trae Young. I mean, obviously he's not on the same level as Luka, but like Trae Young, I mean, he's a 30-10 guy, and he's made it as far as the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, say what you want about the Hawks, but like he did his thing for them, and he showed you what he can do. Tyler Hero, not as much. So I think that's where we stand there. I think we're on the same page as far as that.
For sure.
Second with basketball, next topic. Frank Vogel was reportedly fired because of the failed Russell Westbrook experiment. I guess that is the big reason why he was fired. I also saw a thing that said that Russell Westbrook, there was something with him in ownership or something like that, or maybe it was Vogel, someone, after there was a suggestion. Oh, no, I'm thinking about, I think it was Stephen A. Smith or something. An analyst said, they should trade Westbrook instead of anyone else, and Russell Westbrook just cut off all ties with that person. I think it was on someone on TNT. But regardless, Frank Vogel, apparently he was unfair to Russell Westbrook. He benched Westbrook in the fourth quarters and stuff like that, and Russell Westbrook didn't like that. He during the season multiple times he was like, I can't help my team win if I'm not out there. I think that relationship and Westbrook fitting in was doomed from the start, and Vogel unfortunately took the fall for it.
My big thing with Vogel is he's a really good coach, and coaches like him know what they're getting into before they sign up. So when he went there and he was like, all right, I'm going to coach with LeBron and I'm going to have all these superstars, he has to know they have all those superstars there for a reason. You're going to take the fall if that's not going to work out. It's never the superstar's fault. It's always the coach's fault.
It's always the coach that takes the fall.
If you win a championship, Vogel won the champ. He won it. Yeah, they won it with Vogel. I'm not crazy, right? Yeah, okay. So you have that championship on your roster for the rest of your life, or your belts under your belt for the rest of your life. You go to your next job in 2 years. You take a little bit of a breather from coaching. You go to your next job in 2 years, and you'd be like, all right, listen, that roster, 95% of the people in the NBA know that wasn't his fault.
Yeah,
you have a bunch of, Charles Barkley would say, you got a bunch of geezers out there, a bunch of old guys. They can't do anything together against these young dudes. There's not a thing they can do to keep themselves healthy either. Every single guy's getting hurt every other game. The only one who can play every game is the guy who's hurting you, which is Westbrook. So what do you think they do with Westbrook? They can't trade him, or they can trade him, but it's so little teams they could trade him to.
I honestly think one of the only trades is him for John Wall straight up. And I think they should have done that at the deadline personally, because even if you did that and it didn't work, it couldn't have been worse than how the season played out.
Back to the Rockets?
That's the only contract for contract. That's the only. Or you
Chris
send him
Paul, but they would never do that.
You could send him to Charlotte and get Gordon Hayward back, but I don't think either side wants that. That doesn't make any sense because you already have LaMelo and the Lakers don't want Hayward. At least that.
Do the Lakers really not want Hayward?
I mean, it depends how much they don't want Westbrook.
Yeah, that's
I think
crazy.
it really depends. But there were talks about waiving him and stretching his contract. He's not going to get cut. Russell Westbrook getting cut.
People are talking about him getting cut. He's not going to get cut.
He's not going to get cut.
Do you know how much money they'd have to eat for him to get cut?
Look what they
Oh, my
Luol
God.
Deng was making a ton, and they stretched that out, and they stopped paying it off last year.
Yeah.
He should be cut.
All right, you heard it here first.
There you
AJ.
go.
All right, breaking news. Russell Westbrook getting cut. Get him out of here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Lakers can win anything with him on the roster. That's the thing. So it's like you got to do something. You got to do something. I think John Wall is the only option you got. And I don't think John Wall is like you haven't.
When was the last time John Wall played meaningful basketball?
2019 maybe?
Wow.
He hasn't
So
played
4
in
years
2 full
ago?
seasons. He could have played this year, but the Rockets didn't want
Yeah,
him to
no,
play.
I knew that.
I mean, he's healthy. He definitely doesn't have the explosiveness, the quickness that he once had. That's for damn sure. But, again, you missed the playoffs. It can't get much worse than that. You know what I mean? So you gotta find something out. What do you think they're gonna do? What do you think they should do?
They backed themselves into a hole, man. It's tough when you got him on the books for that much money. I think you run it back with what you had this year, and you just try to get all the old guys on the sides out. Like, no more Howard, no more Reza, no more Rondo. I don't even know if they have Rondo. No more Avery Bradley. No more any of that.
Yeah.
Get young guys in all the other spots. Who was the most successful guy on that roster other than, LeBron and AD when he played? Malik Monk, probably. Malik Monk was their youngest guy.
Yeah.
And he was 26, 27.
Yeah.
Go young. Worst case scenario, they're young and they'll move on. You know what I mean? They'll go somewhere else. And the other guy they had was young, Stanley Johnson. He ended up being their
and
other
they gave
big
him
guy.
a contract. Yeah. You had Horton Tucker.
Taylor
Horton
he
Tucker,
is just overrated.
He's
to
all over the
He's one of the
place.
most overrated.
They tried trading him for
yeah,
a pick.
other teams know he's not good.
Yeah.
He can't shoot consistently. He doesn't have a left hand.
Right.
He can't drive at all.
I'm not a fan of his game. Austin Reeves, he had a good last game. I think he had a triple-double the last game of the season.
Reeves, another young guy.
They need to bring in guys like Malik Monk, guys that have kind of been places, haven't found success, and then they can kind of revitalize the career. Because that's what Malik Monk did. He was he was in Charlotte, didn't have a great few years. We can blame that on coaching situation, whatever. You put someone like that next to LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James is known for bringing out the best in his teammates. He is good at that. He is good at elevating his teammates. And he did that with Malik Monk. Find a few guys that are middle of the pack, right around that age, 26.
Go get the other one from Charlotte, Devontae Graham, bro. He's doing nothing on that roster. He could go give the Lakers 15 a game.
I think he's in New Orleans now. I think.
He's doing nothing in New
doing
Orleans.
nothing in New
Either
Orleans.
way, yeah. They went to the playoffs, and I didn't even see him.
I didn't see him play at all.
I didn't see him play a single
I
game.
don't even know if he was hurt or just they just didn't want to play him. Yeah, man. I mean, they have their backs against the wall, like you said.
Yeah, they really fucked themselves.
1 year left of LeBron. I mean, if I'm him, I'm already thinking about where I'm going after this year because I wouldn't want to stick around. You want to win another championship? It ain't in L.A.
Jerry Buss rolling over in his grave. You watched that documentary?
Not yet.
Not documentary.
All the episodes out yet?
Yeah,
They
the
are
last
out?
one. No, not all of them yet. I think the last ones are coming out this week and the next week or this week. But I've watched it every week so far. You see how angry Jerry West is about all that stuff?
Yeah, I saw the report.
And
too.
Kareem
It's
and all
not-
that.
They're not happy about it.
Dude, if you watched it, you'd be because I have I've been pretty tuned in with NBA for a while, so I have a perception of Jerry West, and then I saw this show, and I could see what he means. If you didn't know who Jerry West was before this show, you would think he's crazy. You would be
Right.
this guy's insane.
Right.
So
Once all the episodes are out, I'll probably just binge it and watch it. 'cause
it's really
that's
good.
How I prefer
It's really
doing
good,
it.
and the dude who plays Magic Johnson is a very good actor.
You've told me
his
that.
first role,
You've-
so
yeah,
he's
that's
doing a good job.
that's dope. Before we go on, actually, we have two people whose birthdays. It's today their birthdays. Say in the chat, we have Make It So. Don't know what your real name is. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
And Logan, happy birthday to you as well.
gang.
Thank you for watching in the pit and celebrating with us. We are. Hopefully, you have a happy birthday. I don't know how old you're turning, both of you, but be safe, have fun. Dwayne, I know Dwayne was his 21st birthday was the other day. and he said he had a rough night, as every 21st birthday ends up going. But enjoy your day. Happy birthday, guys. Appreciate you guys for being fans.
I have to address something right here.
Yes.
So me and Kevin saw Doctor Strange yesterday.
Yep. Yes, you
and
did.
then we've put it out into the universe that Doctor Strange was not very good. We were disappointed. And someone here asks why, without any spoilers, of course. I will not spoil
No spoilers.
anything.
I haven't
why
seen it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'll boil it down to a couple big reasons. One, I love Marvel, and I've always loved Marvel for a very long time. And I don't think this movie contributed towards the larger whole of Marvel. If you take this movie out of Marvel, you still have a very good timeline that really doesn't need this movie. And that I, going into this movie, thought it was going to be like, oh, all the storylines and plot lines are going to go through this. They really don't. Two, I thought a lot of the movie, didn't need to happen without spoiling anything because of the ending. Like, you ever see a movie where you're like, oh, all of this didn't even matter because the ending happened.
Right. Okay.
Along those lines, kind of, without spoiling anything. And then three, I just thought the movie was a little long. Like, you don't need 2 hours.
Was it 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours. You don't need 2.5 hours to tell the story they told.
Right.
And everything else I could say about the movie would probably be too spoilery. So I'm just going to sit back. Also, Marvel has a very high standard for movies.
Sure. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
A bad movie in Marvel is like a decent movie for other.
Sure.
Like DC, this would probably be a pretty decent
you're
movie.
comparing it to other
20,
25 other movies that they've made. Where would you rank it out of the movies?
Oh, yeah, that's what Kevin was saying this morning. He was like, after he thought about it, he's like, there's not many Marvel movies he would put below it.
Sure. So bottom
I'd
5.
probably
maybe?
put it right outside the bottom 5, if not in the bottom 5.
What's your bottom 5? Can you?
Thor: Dark World is definitely in there.
That's the one with that was the second.
The second
right?
Thor, yeah. I didn't like either of the Ant-Mans, so that's 2 right there. I wasn't a huge Eternals fan, but I'm not going to put it in there. Oh,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, I did not like.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Captain Marvel. Too OP. She was fucking OP.
Yeah, exactly.
Way
You
too
can't make a
overpowered.
character that overpowered and then
Way.
just slap her in at the
Yeah,
end and then
yeah.
tell her excuse is like, oh, I've been saving all the other planets. Bro, you're from the United States. You're from the United States. You're in our Air Force. Like, come home. Save our planet. We're getting
Help us
murked.
out.
Yeah,
Fuck
we're getting
them.
murked right now
Yeah,
by the Kree and the
help
Skrull. Come help us.
Fair.
And then if I had to think of another one that I thought maybe I didn't like was probably they didn't make a Hulk movie, but I on record don't like the Hulk.
Didn't they make one in like 06? It was like no, it was
Yeah, but not in,
before.
like, this
It wasn't like the
timeline.
universe.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
not
right.
this
Aren't they
timeline.
making one?
Maybe.
Planning
I don't
to make
know.
one?
I'm
I
trying to
don't know.
think.
Are they making a
Oh,
She-Hulk? Aren't they making a series?
Before I forget, the one with Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow.
Yes.
That was the other one I
yes,
didn't really
yes.
like. Not a huge Black Widow fan. But like all the others are so good.
Oh, I didn't even watch. But I haven't even seen Black Widow.
Well, it
I
wasn't
don't-
that great.
I haven't heard great.
It was
things
tough
about
because I feel bad for the movie because it would have been good if it
If
got
it was
dropped
years ago.
Yeah, if it
Yeah,
got dropped when it was
100
supposed to.
yep,
It got postponed
100%.
like 2 years.
All right, Endgame happened years ago. I mean, why are they putting out a movie about her when she's done? You know what I mean? Like, she's gone. She's out of the picture. So what's this
Yeah.
movie going to do for us? Give us more backstory to someone that's not around anymore? Yeah, I agree. All right. Bowler McNuggets, Dante, what kind of shampoo do you use? Suave.
Nice.
Not a 2-for-1.
Not mane and tail anymore.
No, that was my high school. Hey, if you guys are trying to grow your hair out, this isn't a sponsorship. This isn't an ad. Mane and tail, I am telling you, that will grow your hair out crazy quick. It's basically like horse shampoo. It's like meant to help like make the hair like more look better and like grow it more basically. And you can use it. I did, and it grew my hair out fast. But Suave shampoo and conditioner. All right. Let's move on to some more topics, and we'll look at a little bit more. If you see any comments in there that
Oh, I'm getting
that you brought
roasted
up.
because
Yeah?
Black Widow's really good. But like Black Widow, my only gripe with Black Widow, like I said, was just it didn't follow like. You're seeing
Didn't follow the
Marvel.
timeline.
You're seeing Marvel go in a straight line, and then Black Widow does this and jumps back. And
Yeah,
you're like, ooh, that
sure.
kind of took me out of it.
People are asking, are people giving out Snapchats in the comments? What's going
Ooh,
on here?
ooh.
Guys, come on.
Things getting a little
Play it easy.
spicy.
I know it's Friday, but
Yeah, end of the week.
Dwayne Bacon's wondering, when's your birthday, Josh?
My birthday is July 19th.
July
I hope you remember that and send me a present. Thank
And
you very
where-
much.
And how old are you turning, Josh?
I would be the big 2-5. Quarter life crisis incoming.
It's coming. It's hard to avoid it. All right, next topic. I guess let's just talk about some NBA playoffs.
Let's
tonight.
do it.
So we got 2 games. Johnny was making me nervous because he said there were no games tonight. There was actually no games last night, which
Yeah.
I'm fine with.
Yep.
Friday night games.
We
at
need
the
something to
bar.
watch tonight at the bar.
So you have Miami, Philadelphia playing at 7. Joel Embiid is probably going to play. He passed
What?
concussion. He went through concussion protocol. He's being fitted for a mask, and he really, really wants to play. And I guess if he goes through workout and they give him the green light, he's going. He's a tough son of a bitch, man. I'm not the biggest Embiid fan in the world. I respect him. I think he is a hell of a competitor. But man, that's tough. I give him all the credit in the world. I mean, if you're gonna play through an orbital fracture, your thumb, he torn ligament in his thumb, just coming off a concussion. Like, man, this guy has been getting banged up in the playoffs, and for him to come back, I know they're down 0-2, but he goes, I think we have a chance to win. I want to help us out. So it's in Philadelphia too. Miami's the favorite right now, 1.5-point favorites. But what do you think? How do you think this is going to play out?
I think if Joel Embiid doesn't play, or if he plays and he's less than 85% of what he usually is, they're going to get swept. Because if this goes to 3-0, there's just something in the
James Harden won't.
There's just something in the back of players' heads. If you're down 3-0, it's never been done before. Like you're not going to get out of this 3-0 hole, even if you win this next 2 games, probably. I don't know. This is, of course, the biggest game. I always said the thing that Game 3 is the biggest game in anything because you can win Game 1 and you can lose Game 2, and Game 3 means a bunch. You can lose both games and Game 3 means everything.
Right.
Or you can win both games and then Game 3 means everything again because then you can just sweep them.
Yeah.
So Game 3 is imperative. For us, the Celtics, when we play Game 3 soon. For them, the Suns, it doesn't really matter. They're sweeping the Mavs anyways.
And next game, Suns-Mavs.
Yeah.
Suns up 2-0. It's even. So it's not. No one's an underdog. No one's a favorite. It's pretty even.
Josh's bet of the night: bet the Suns.
I'm
they are
probably
going
gonna-
to sweep the Mavericks.
I'm probably going to take the Suns as
Yes.
well. I mean, it's Luka versus the Suns, basically. I mean, Luka will probably have a good game as he usually does. But the Suns, they were my favorite to win it all from the get go. So I'm rolling with the Suns on this one. They're too good. So those are the 2 games tonight. I guess we'll talk about the games this weekend too, since we won't be here, obviously. Are there any games? Oh, okay, so there are. So Saturday, tomorrow, early game, Celtics-Bucks, Game 3 in Milwaukee. Milwaukee 2-point favorites. Series tied 1-1. Boston just won by 23 last game. Marcus Smart will play, so everyone's going to be healthy for Boston. Chris Middleton is still out. Mike Budenholzer did say that he could come back potentially for games 5, 6, and 7 if it goes. It'll go Game 5 at least, but he's out for 3 and 4, but could come back potentially. What do you think's going to happen here?
As KG said, I'm getting the strap. I'm loading the Uzi. Got a couple Glocks. Got an RPG.
I got RPG, a few launches, a few grenade launches.
We're going to war.
Yeah.
We're going to war on Saturday. Saturday is when the series starts. It's a whole new series.
It's best of 5. Best of 5.
All we have to do is split these next 2, and then I'm happy. It's going to be a lot harder to win the second game than it is to win this game, because if they can win this game, they're going to be thinking, we win this next one, we go 3-1, we can get them on their own home court. I'm scared. I'm not scared. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous because what we do well is not what they do well. We've been opposites. They've been killing us in the paint, and we've been shooting them out of the gym. Those are 2 opposite things, and who knows which way it could go. Could it be a cold day for shooting? Yes, and then we lose. Could the paint like that? If they start calling these dumbass Giannis putting his head down, running into the paint, not doing anything but throwing his body at other people fouls, Giannis will foul out of one of these games.
You got to assume that that's expected, though, in these games, that he's going to get those calls.
I don't know what the hell they're doing with this thing where, like, one half they won't officiate that hard, and then they'll come out in the second half and everything's a foul, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's happened like 3 of the playoff games I've seen. Like they who said it last game? Van Gundy said it on the announcing thing. He's like, first half that wasn't a foul, but second half they've called it every time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude.
There's no consistency in it. As a fan, it's frustrating to watch. As a player, I can only imagine. NBA has some of the worst officiating, if not honestly the worst. I mean, I feel like it's just every game there's something. There's always something. Like,
we shouldn't know that, like, oh man,
we should know the ref's
Boston.
name. You shouldn't know who a ref's name is. I don't know. Someone said this on some talk show. You shouldn't know who these refs are. Refs, no offense, are meant to be nobodies.
Yeah.
They're just referees. If you know a referee by name, Not a good thing.
Yeah.
Scott Foster, who is the one?
That's what I was gonna say. You should know if Scott Foster's officiating the game. It's probably gonna be an extended series.
Crawford. Who is the guy?
Joey Crawford.
Joey Crawford.
Yeah.
He was another one.
He kicked Tim Duncan out of like every game
for
he would
laughing
officiate him
on the
for.
bet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Going back to the game, I think the Celtics are better statistically. They're a better road team than home team. They're this year in away games, 41 away games. They were a plus 18-point differential.
Damn.
They won by an average of 18 points a game on the road this year. That's the best mark in the past decade. That's not something that you can just
The
push.
Bucks are no slouches.
They're
though.
no slouches,
Yeah.
absolutely not. I'm not saying that. But I do think this is going to be – I don't think this is going to be a blowout like Game 2. I think it'll be a back-and-forth game.
Yeah, we're overdue for a close one.
And Boston shot lights out last game.
That's going to come back to earth.
I don't think they're going to be breaking franchise playoff records
literally.
back-to-back games. I do think Boston will edge them out. I think Marcus Smart coming back is going to be a little bit of an energy boost.
Tice can't play in this series.
Tice hasn't played at all this year.
Yeah, he can't play in
because
the series.
And I give props to Ime for making decisions like that.
Yeah,
he knows guys.
Once
to
he
play
saw
in
how
certain,
good Grant Williams was, he was like, "Why even have Tice out there?"
Grant Williams will hit threes in your face and lock up your best player. Grant
Exactly.
Williams is
So far, he's our X factor for sure. We all thought it was going to be Marcus, but it's been
so far.
It's been Grant.
Three best players: Jason, Jalen, Grant.
Grant, for sure.
I'd put him three, honestly.
For sure.
So I have Celtics. Who'd you pick winning?
This is going to be what's the spread?
2 points, Milwaukee.
So favorite, I would buy the Celtics the +4, and I'd be a happy Celtics +4 better.
Right.
I don't know if I would bet on the Celtics to win my own money. Who do I want to win the Celtics? Who do I think's gonna win? Probably the Bucks.
All right. Yeah.
Probably the Bucks, and I think we're gonna take the second one.
Hey, they obviously have a lot of fire in them after being
I think this
killed
is gonna be
that.
like a 1 2 point game.
Yeah,
though. Like it's
100%.
gonna be right down to the end.
Mhm. No, I agree. And then last game on Saturday, Grizzlies Warriors. Dylan Brooks is suspended. It's in Golden State as well. Dylan Brooks suspended this game. Golden State 7-point favorites. Grizzlies won last game. John Moran had 47. Unbelievable showing by him. I think Golden State's going to win this one at home. Playing in Golden State is going to be tough. That's going to be tough for Memphis. I think home court is going to be big.
No GP. Draymond's been roughed up a little bit.
No Gary Payton. Yep. Draymond's been roughed up a little bit.
No Dylan Brooks.
I just think I'm going Warriors. I think this is going to be one of those series where it's really going to be like, all right, they win one game, they win the next. One game, the next. One game, the next.
It's way more important for the Grizzlies to have Dylan Brooks than it is for the Warriors to have Gary Payton.
Gary Payton's a great player, don't get me wrong, but
he's 6 points a game with like 4 rebounds.
You losing him isn't the end of the world.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not the end of the world.
You just plug in another guy and he's okay. You go Damian Lee, you're fine.
Yeah.
You go like anyone else, you're good.
Dylan Brooks is a good
Kayvon
scorer.
Looney.
Yeah, he's
Dylan
a good
Brooks
scorer
is like
for
your
them.
third best scorer. Your second
Right.
best scorer.
Right.
That's a big loss.
That is a tough loss.
So what do you think about that? Did you guys talk about that on Wednesday?
Our thoughts on the foul
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, I think we debated whether we thought it was dirty or not. I don't think it was a dirty play. I mean, it's like in a situation like that, like you're trying to go for the ball, you're trying to make a play on the ball, and like shit happens. I mean, it was a tough hit. He needed to be suspended because at the end of the day, Gary Payton did get injured, and it reminded me of Grayson Allen and Alex Caruso earlier in the year. Grayson Allen injured Caruso. People like Grayson shouldn't be suspended. It was an accident. I get that, but Caruso missed time because of it.
Well, the difference was Grayson Allen has a history,
He has a
whereas
history.
Dylan Brooks doesn't have a history.
I
Yeah.
don't think Steve Kerr was all over the place. He was like dirty player. He broke, broke the rules, like the unwritten rules, something like that. But like, it's a freak thing. It happens. But he deserves the suspension, 100%. I mean, you injure someone, you're gonna get suspended. So I have Warriors winning this game. I don't know about
I think the Grizzlies are going to win this one,
You think so?
surprisingly.
That would be a big one.
Because I think they're going to rally. The Grizzlies need to play for something, and they're seeing their brother, like Dylan Brooks, get absolute shit on by the media. Everyone's saying, like, that was a horrible thing. What is Dylan Brooks doing? Blah, blah, blah.
True.
That's motivation for
True,
them.
but then you can look at it the other way, too. Golden State might have some motivation saying,
They do, but those guys are. This can sound bad, but those guys are getting old, man. Like Klay Thompson is 2 of 12 from like 3. Like He's getting winded on defense because he has to go out there and play one of the biggest forwards who's young and run around. Draymond can't play all the minutes he used to. If they didn't have Jordan Poole, they would really be in it.
Yeah,
like, if they didn't
yeah.
have Jordan Poole, they would be in some trouble.
Jordan Poole is a major reason for their success this year. But I think I understand what you're saying. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with it. But, like, guys like Steph, guys like Clay, considering how much they shoot, they're going to have games like that. It's you've seen it.
I'm not worried about Steph. Clay, I'm a little more worried about.
I mean, Clay is, he's still fresh off of an injury.
Exactly.
That's obviously he's been playing for a little bit, but I mean it's not not an overnight thing. It can take some time to get back into things, especially on defense. Offense, you have the shooter's touch. That's whatever that can come back, but your acceleration, your ability to stay in front of guys, your stamina and stuff like that. Like, that stuff gets affected. I agree. So, but I'm still going with Golden State. I think they're the better team, and home plays a big part. Then you have Memphis.
Is there a world I know I just thought of this. Is there a world Donovan Mitchell could find himself on the Lakers?
The Lakers? I mean,
like Russell Westbrook, Donovan Mitchell type stuff? Because those two both seem like they're out.
If I'm Utah, no. If I'm Utah, there's nothing from LA that I want. I think that's more of a. Obviously, the Lakers would be fine with it, but I think the Utah Jazz would be better suited looking elsewhere. I mean, with LeBron James on the team, who knows? That guy pulls the strings. So I mean, it could. Who knows?
He's not clutch, is he?
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, he's not clutch.
I think Donovan. Oh. No, I don't think so. I thought you meant is he clutch?
No. Like, part of clutch.
Yeah. No, I don't think he is. If he was, then I'd be more.
Exactly.
Inclined to say probably. All right, and then Sunday, Suns, Mavs again, Heat, Sixers. Where we won't talk about those. Yep. We don't know what's gonna happen tonight. So all right, playoff games tonight. Looking forward to those. All right, let's switch it up. Let's go on to a little football.
Someone asked earlier in the comments, drafters tonight. What do you think? What do you think?
I'm not even going to entertain that question. You should know by now. What'd you say?
He said it's a clown question.
Clown question, bro. Take the face paint off. Come on. So things aren't looking good for Trey Lance and the 49ers right now. So apparently the 49ers have not been impressed whatsoever with Trey Lance, practices, his showing in the 2 games he played last year, and basically probably the biggest reason why Jimmy Garoppolo is still there right now.
He can't throw the ball.
Is because they don't trust Trey Lance.
Yeah, he can't throw.
Trey Lance, they drafted him off of what he could be, not based off of the talent that he currently has. He is the definition of a project. I'm surprised the 49ers are upset that he isn't as good as they think he is right now. I thought that they figured it would take a little longer than 1 year for him to become a starter. He went 3rd overall. They traded the first round pick that year. I think they had 12, and then they traded 2 other firsts and a 3rd, I think, for Trey Lance. I mean, they invested a lot in the guy, but like at the end of the day, again, he was a project. You got to be patient with that. But Jimmy Garoppolo is still around because of that, and this reporter is convinced that Shanahan actually wanted Mac Jones, but the organization wanted Trey Lance at number 3. So that could be a little rift there between the two sides. They would have been a lot better at Mac. They would have been. I mean, if they had Mac Jones, I think that Jimmy Garoppolo wouldn't be a 49er right now. Yeah. You can trust Mac Jones. I mean, say what you want about him, but he can start. Trey Lance can't right now. So, I mean, the 49ers. It's
so funny, the 49ers, because they're dying to give their quarterback spot to literally anybody. And the rest of their team is so fucking good. Every other stage of their game is good.
They're a team that every year they could be in the Super Bowl.
Literally, every year. They can do it.
From top to bottom, defense is
they're
nasty.
So well run. It's just
Deebo Samuel and Kittle are 2 of the best guys you could throw to. And they have 15 running backs. One goes down, you have another one.
Deebo followed back the 49ers on like Instagram or something or Twitter the other day.
He followed them back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to go anywhere.
We'll see.
I guess now. I mean, he wanted out, and then they came out and were like, yeah, we don't. It would be shocking if who was it? The GM? He was like, he goes, I'd be shocked if we traded him or something like that. But yeah, I mean, they have the weapons, they have everything. They just need a quarterback. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't terrible, but like, he's not good enough. Unfortunately, I love Jimmy Garoppolo, but he's just not good enough.
The only memory I'll ever have of him is like overthrowing someone in the Super Bowl for like the biggest pass of his life.
Oh my God! All right. Now I have a good topic for us to talk about. I'm just saying this right now. I don't know if there's any truth to this. This was just a rumor that I saw on Twitter that I couldn't help but laugh. I laughed so fucking hard when I read this, and I thought this was the funniest thing, and I hope to God there is truth behind this. So, as we all know, Jimmy Garoppolo started his career in New England. He was the backup for Tom Brady for a few years, won 2 championships backing up Tom Brady.
Yup.
He was traded to San Francisco years ago. I think it was a second-round pick they got in return because it was a whole thing like, oh, he'll be the successor to Brady. Brady isn't going anywhere. You got to get rid of Garoppolo, blah, blah, blah. That happened. Okay.
Yep.
No one talks about it. A report comes out 2 days ago, maybe yesterday, 2 days ago. The reason why the Patriots traded Jimmy Garoppolo was because he knocked up Robert Kraft's girlfriend at the time.
No way.
That's the report. It's because Robert Kraft was dating a much, much younger woman at the time.
Yep.
And this is a fact. She did get pregnant, and he did say, it's not my kid, but they never went as far to explain who it was, nothing like that. So, I mean, in comes Jimmy Garoppolo. This report comes out, that matches up. But again, there's nothing more to it than really that.
There's nothing more to it than a guy being like, hey, Jimmy G got traded the same time this girl was like, got pregnant. There might be something there.
There might be something there. The guy got a thing sent to him. This NFL guy, I don't know what his name was, but he got an email sent to him, an anonymous thing that said, "Hey, we have this scoop. We want you to have it." And
were you the anonymous email?
No, I wish. I fucking wish I could come up with something like that. But hey, I'm not saying I fully believe it. I want to believe it. I really do, because that's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, listen, porn star Jimmy, he's got the rep, and he's a good-looking guy. I mean, what girl wouldn't want to get knocked up by Jimmy Garoppolo? Am I right? So yeah, I wanted to throw that out there. I saw that. I had to talk about it. People in the comments say you guys saw the same thing. That story is wild. That story is absolutely wild. And maybe Jimmy G is just still in. He's still in San Francisco because he hasn't knocked up anyone's wife yet. So that's why he's still around. Josh is a red flag to me now. Talking about Black Widow.
Whoopsies.
That's hilarious. All right. Yes, Drafters is a bar, guys. Come on. What are we
People
doing?
didn't know what Drafters was.
How do you guys not know what Drafters is?
Tisk,
Come
tisk.
on. All right. Next topic. Getting off of that. Sticking with football. Pete Carroll says that they will be looking, but don't see us making a trade for a quarterback at all.
They have the worst quarterback room
Who's
I've
their
ever seen.
Who is their quarterback?
I think is it not Tyrod Taylor, right? It's,
No, he
it's
went
not
to,
Geno
Giants.
Smith. It's
No way, Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. Is it Drew
Geno
Lock and who?
Smith.
Drew Lock and Geno Smith. Yeah, Drew Lock
That's
and Geno Smith.
awesome.
There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I guess this stemmed from they were talking about Baker Mayfield or something like that. I if you asked me where I think Baker's going to go, I said Seahawks whenever the whole thing of him leaving came out. But yeah, I guess the Seahawks are content with what they have.
Brutal.
I don't understand why they would be, because you have.
Who do you think's gonna have more wins, the Seahawks or the Texans?
What is their divisions?
AFC South.
Oh God,
and
the Seahawks are in a tough division. They go up against the Niners, the Rams, the Cardinals, and
the Cardinals could fall.
The
apart
Cardinals
pretty
could fall
quick.
apart. I mean, the first 6 games without DeAndre Hopkins is going to be rough, and then and then Texans, Colts, Jags, Titans. I mean, Jags and Titans are bad. I feel like it would be crazy to think the Texans could win more games, right?
Yeah.
But like,
They might be
I think
better.
Davis Mills is a better quarterback.
I
than
definitely
Drew
think
Lock
Davis
or
Mills
anything
is a
else.
better
Davis
quarterback.
Mills actually statistically really wasn't terrible last year.
Didn't the Texans cover every game last year? They were cover machines.
They may have, yeah. I loved Davis Mills, Team Long.
Brandon Cooks had another 1,000-yard season.
Brandon Cooks is there too. Yeah, I mean they had 2 first-round picks, I believe. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why can't the Texans
Good
have a
time to
better
be a
record?
Texans fan.
Bad time to be a Seahawks fan.
Bad time to be a Seahawks fan.
All right. So good luck, Seattle, with your search there. All right, moving on to some topics other than sports. Again, if you guys have anything for us to talk about, put it in the comments. Ask us some questions, whatever you want. Because we only have a few more topics left, so you guys have some questions. We can answer some questions. Keep the show going for a little bit longer if that's what you guys want. All right, next topic. Dave Chappelle, as we all know, was attacked the other night.
Was assaulted.
And the attacker won't be charged with a felony. Instead, he's being charged with a handful of misdemeanor crimes.
His life is now a felony. Ever since that picture of him circulated sitting on like the stretcher with his arm broken backwards, everyone in the world will always be like, oh, there's that loser who jumped on stage and tried to beat up Dave Chappelle.
Who that? Like, I said this the other day when we talked about it. Do people think like they're gonna get away with stuff like this? Like, do they think they're not gonna get arrested, get caught? Or like, I don't know.
Think
like,
they care.
Like people that like, I understand it's obviously very different, but like people that streak in sports games and go on the fields and stuff, it's funny, it's a joke, I get it. But then you're banned from that stadium for the rest of your life. So like, who really wins? You get a night in jail, or you have to pay your way out of jail, and then you can't go to a sports game again there. Where's the win?
It doesn't make any sense to me on any of this nonsense. It's people like getting their 10 seconds of fame, but like it's not being.
It's
famous.
not 10 seconds of fame.
Yeah,
no, it's
famous.
like people like, oh, maybe at first it was one thing, but now it's like I feel like you see that so often. People don't give a fuck if you're running on a field or whatever. But yeah, so this guy, did you see what he had with him? The gun.
The gun with the knife. Yeah, that
dude,
shit was crazy.
he legitimately could have
yeah.
killed him.
Yeah, 100%. You stab
Chappelle.
someone with that. The knife was like, I don't know, probably 3 inches long.
Yeah,
I think it definitely do some damage.
Absolutely could have. He could have hurt Dave Chappelle real bad. Thank God he didn't. But yeah,
hurt our king.
Don't.
Do you think he's the best comedian ever?
I think if he's not, he's up there. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a big stand-up guy and I know like, yeah. What do you think? You think he's the best?
Do you think he's the best? This is Sophie we're talking to.
Get on in the pit. I think
Sophie's guest starring.
Because you got like Eddie Murphy and stuff like that too.
Question is Dave Chappelle the best comedian? And if not, you need to propose one who is.
Okay. Thanks for having me. Hello. I was gonna say I'm not. Where am I?
This is a little
invisible.
You're good.
Okay, I'm a massive stand-up fan. I've watched so much stand-up over the years, and so I feel like pretty confident about this. I think Dave Chappelle's the GOAT, arguably. Is he my personal favorite? Definitely not. But I think just based on like his career as a stand-up comedian, like Chris Rock is also one of the GOATs, without a doubt. Dave Chappelle's one of the GOATs. Yeah, I think he could be the best. I think he could. What are your thoughts?
Dante, do you have anything to say before I say something?
I mean, like I said, if he's not the GOAT, he's up there. You got guys like Robin Williams. You got Eddie Murphy. You got who are some other good stand-up guys? I mean, Tom Segura, of course. No, I mean,
John Mulaney is really good.
Dave Chappelle, John Mulaney is really good. I mean, Dave Chappelle. is
Bill
so
Burr's
iconic.
a walking goat.
Bill Burr is awesome.
Burr's
I would
good.
love to see Bill Burr live.
There's so many GOATs. in
But, like-
stand-up, but I feel like
Dave Chappelle also too, like, not to discredit him, but like when I think of Dave Chappelle, one of the first things that come to mind is not stand up, but the Dave Chappelle show as well.
Yeah, so my argument with that would be he rose to fame through like comedy, and then once he had us like fame through comedy, he then did his sketch show.
Sure.
So I
okay.
would say he was already
Okay.
famous before he got the Chappelle
Fair
show.
enough.
Because he already had done like all those stand-up routines in New York before that, and was going on tour with all those people like Bernie Mac and things like that.
Oh, Bernie Mac. Yeah.
Bernie Mac's one of the
Hey,
best.
do you have an opinion, AJ? Best stand-up comedian of all time?
As I'm eating tuna fish here. Tuna fish can be tough to swallow.
oh my god, yeah, it's like dry.
Yeah. It's right out of the packet right now.
Yep.
Delicious
I would
for
do it.
people at home.
Is this for me?
Favorite stand-up? I think Dave Chappelle is like, he's got to be top 5, right?
He's
got to be.
Might be the GOAT.
And I think I'll be biased towards him too because I heard him on a couple podcasts, and I think he's just like salt of the earth type people and so down to earth, and like I just have so much respect for him like that. But he's so fucking funny too.
And he's hysterical.
Everything he says is funny.
It's like so authentic.
Yeah.
You know, like you feel it.
Would you argue that Dave Chappelle is the Tom Brady of stand-up?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would. I mean, there's some monsters out there for sure. Somebody said Bill Burr, right?
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yep.
Very, very
There's
Mike King.
there's this Italian guy that I'm thinking of who's hilarious.
I know Sebastian. Is it Sebastian something?
Oh,
It's like Tony something.
Tony Hinchcliffe. He's not Italian.
No,
don't
no. Who is it?
Maniscalco.
No, I don't think that's him. This guy, the guy I'm thinking of, looks like a mafia person. Yeah.
Oh, Joey Diaz.
Yeah, Joey Diaz.
I love Joey Diaz. I adore Joey Diaz.
He is fucking.
All you had to say was he looks like he's in the mafia.
He is yeah, I saw him on Joe Rogan, but I'll see him on YouTube from time to time, and he's just fucking hysterical. And there was like a motivational clip that he did too, and it was like hysterically like factual. And I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? He can do motivation too.
I love Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz
love
is like,
Joey Diaz.
he's hysterical. Hysterical.
When we
That's
saw
a
Tom
crazy
Segura, He
motherfucker.
was telling the story about how he gave
He
Tom
drugged
the,
him.
the THC stuff.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
Thank you.
right.
No, moving on. Yeah, Joey Diaz was like, he gave him like 200 milligrams of like an edible or something
goes,
like that.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, I took 5 times. He took like 1,000 milligrams.
Yeah.
And he gave Tom 200. And he was just like laughing at him. He thought it was so funny.
Iconic.
Joey
Yeah, no,
Diaz. Oh my God.
love Joey Diaz.
Yes. I can't believe we didn't think of that.
Yeah, he's hysterical. But yeah, no, I think it like Dave Chappelle walked so everyone else could run. Arguably, like
Fair enough.
I think that's just how it is.
I think when, and knock on wood, this doesn't happen anytime soon, but like when the day that he like passes away, that's gonna be like a day that's gonna be remembered. Like that's gonna be like you'll remember like where you.
Diaz?
No, Dave
That
Chappelle.
too.
Him too, yeah. But like Dave
Yeah, when he
Chappelle,
goes back to you.
Oh, perfect.
like that's like a major figure in a lot of people's lives. Like he was in like even our parents and stuff. Like he was around.
People in the comments saying-
I don't know. Someone gave $2 and asked, "Have you guys ever watched Jersey Shore?" And I know this guy has.
Everyone, turn your mics off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Dante will give a
I
soliloquy.
have every season on DVD.
Peace
Thank
out,
you,
Sophie.
Sophie. I have every season on DVD. I went to the Jersey Shore when they filmed their final season. I met Pauly D, JWoww, Snooki, all those people. Fucking awesome. JWoww's tits are even bigger in person. Yes, I can. It's true. No offense to anyone. But yeah, I fucking, dude. The first few seasons, they go to Miami, they go to Italy. Mike hitting his head up against the wall, giving
One of the
himself.
craziest
oh
things.
my
That was-
God!
that was,
and
like,
that was
must-
like real too.
Okay,
They-
yeah, I remember when that happened, and then we went to school, and like we were what 5th, 6th grade at that time.
Yeah, sure.
We went to school the next day. You're like, did you guys see Mike knock himself out on TV?
Dude, I mean, that guy was like, for a while, was tapped. I mean, he was going through some shit. But, man, talk about an iconic show, man. I know they have the whole reunion thing going on. That's not as good.
No, hell no.
But the storylines, Ronnie and Sammy, Mike and Snooki, Vinny and everyone, Pauly and everyone.
It was-
Pauly D and Vinny, bro. Oh, my God. Name a better duo.
it was a cross
You can't
between
do it.
a soap opera and a reality TV show, but it was made for people our age.
Oh,
it
my
was
God.
perfect.
It was so
perfect.
That era.
Guy, girl, young, old.
That 5 to
Doesn't
6 year
matter.
stretch was untouchable. Untouchable.
Great question.
Great question. And thank you for the $2 as
Yeah,
well.
thank you for the money too.
I'm going through the comments a little bit, and I see people debating about this. Dwayne Bacon goes, do you guys remember Mr. Penis? I miss seeing him every now and then. Yes, I do remember Mr. He was way before you.
I don't know what that is.
We used to have a guy come into the chat, and his name was Mr. Penis, and he was just a fan in the comments and stuff. And then he stopped showing up for a little bit, and then Mr. Penis 2 came in, and it was a conspiracy whether it was the real Mr. Penis or a fraud. And I don't know if we ever got to the bottom of that. But
Damn.
I do remember Mr. Penis, Dwayne. That's when you know you've been around for a while, because that was a throwback. I haven't thought about that in a while. People still talking about drafters.
Drafter.
Oh, guys, it's a real.
What are you
bar.
gonna get tonight to drink?
Someone actually asked. I don't see it right now. I think Amanda asked, "What's your choice of what's your go-to drink?" Yeah, Amanda asked, "What's your go-to drink at the bar?" I'm a big Corona and lime
Yeah,
guy.
same.
I'm just a simple. But if I'm gonna get like alcoholic like liquor, Probably like I love Jack and Coke, rum and Coke. I'm a big fan of that, but that can be kind of heavy. So probably just like I was big on vodka Red Bulls in college.
Yeah.
Hardcore vodka Red
RBD.
Bulls. Jaeger bombs was another big one.
I've been doing Irish car bombs a lot at the old
Irish
bar.
car bombs?
Every time I go to the
Oof.
old bar I used to work at, and see
You
all
have
my
a
old
few of
friends.
those?
Yeah, someone will be like, "Let's do some car bombs."
Do you
I'm like, "All right."
remember years ago? It was at Kunkel's boathouse, and we did the
Oh,
150
Flaming Dr.
proof.
Peppers? Flaming Dr. Peppers? That's what
I
on
had
our draft
dude,
night?
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was just a random night, I think. Because
No,
I'd worked.
no, it was draft
I don't
night.
know, because I had work the next day. I remember Jeremy drove me home that night, and I don't remember getting home at all. I remember waking up at 2 p.m. the next day, hungover. I had to go to work.
Oh, then it wasn't draft
It
night, 'cause
wasn't
we all
draft
take the
night.
next
It was
day
a random
off.
night
Yeah,
during the
yeah,
summer. It was.
yeah.
I think it was a Friday or a Saturday. Yeah, I had 3 of those, and I remember Jeremy drove me home. I don't even know how I got. I don't know how I got my car. I don't remember any of that. Jeremy just wakes me up. He goes, "Is this your house?" And I go, "Yeah."
Yeah, this looks about right.
I walk right past my mom in bed. Next thing I know, it's 2 a.m. and I was insanely hungover. And I had to work at a restaurant, and it was the most miserable shift of my life. But Irish car bombs, those will
I do that a
some
lot.
dirty
My
things
go-to is
you.
a Crown Royal and Coke, regular Crown and Coke,
Mhm.
or a. I like the Kevin Tata special, just the
Cranberry vodka.
Yeah,
Can't go
cran
wrong
red
with
and
cranberry vodka. Nothing wrong with that. Guys, make the trip down the Drafters. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Amanda, you live a
come
few
meet
hundred
us.
miles away. So do we. Doesn't stop us. People talking about hockey. You guys want us to talk about hockey? You guys want us to talk about hockey?
I know the Bruins are down 0-2 when they're playing tonight.
The Bruins they're playing the
Carolina
Hurricanes, which is Emily and Joe. That's where her brother works for the
Does he?
Hurricanes. He's the equipment manager for them.
And then I'm rooting for the Hurricanes. There's already more
they're
connection to the Hurricanes.
They're a
than
much
there is-
better team.
Yeah.
Much better team. Yeah, I don't know. Hockey, man. I mean, it's
Puck.
a sport.
It is.
Let's talk about that hockey. What are that Chance the Rapper SNL skit?
Growing up, I was a San Jose Sharks fan because of Joe Thorin, and that's the only thing I have to say about hockey.
So you got 4 games tonight. So there's a good amount of games tonight. Bruins are on. They're down 2-0. Lightning, Maple Leafs. That's actually a good series because Lightning back-to-back champs. Maple Leafs are a favorite. I know a little bit about hockey because I bet on it throughout the year, so I know like where the teams stand and like who's good and who isn't, like highest scoring teams. Wild, Blues, Wild, that's tied, but Wild's a better team, and Oilers, Kings, Oilers. I think they're a favorite as well. So, yeah, unless you got anything else to add for hockey, that's all I got.
I got nothing on hockey.
All right.
Literally nothing.
All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else we got for topics. All right, we got is Friday, so we got a Florida topic. It's a Florida woman. Not usually it's Florida man, but this is
Okay.
Florida woman. Florida woman records a coyote being chased off by an otter.
I'm excited for this.
Okay, so we do have a video here. She was on a morning walk. She sees that thing. Look how small it is. Hold on, let's see. Oh, there it is. Coyotes are terrifying.
Coyotes will mess you up,
They will mess you up.
but only if they're in a group. They won't go one-on-one with you.
Oh, now he's going after the otter. And now the otter is...
Otter's kind of thick.
He is kind of thick. He looks like a skunk, kind of.
Yeah, or like a baby seal.
Yeah, I was thinking a baby seal, too. All right, I think they're just minding... Oh, nope. Oh, yeah, the coyote's a little shook. So, if you guys want to look that up, let me tell you, it's a hell of a video.
It's a pretty cool video.
It was shared on Facebook. I don't know how many of you guys are on Facebook, but it's there. Yeah, there's your Florida topic for the day. Let's see what we got in the comments. Put some good comments in, guys. Put some good comments in. Have you guys ever watched
$5?
$5?
Big fan from down the road in Mill City.
Ooh, Mill City.
Keep up the great content.
you.
Y'all should draft Royal Rumble participants or pro athletes. Flip the switch.
Royal Rumble. So we have to draft 30 people. That could be
Wait,
a
how
lot.
would that work?
If I'm understanding the question, draft a Royal Rumble of athletes. There's 30 people in the Royal Rumble, so you have to
Yeah.
put 30 athletes in,
Yep.
and whoever.
How would we know who won though? Like you
Yeah, there's only one way to
simulated?
find out. Make a few calls.
Yeah,
get set up
ask
a-
him,
set up a ring.
hey, Mike Trout, you want to do a Royal Rumble? I know you're mid-season, but you're not going anywhere. You got nothing going on.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we will. That would be a long video. Sam Kinison? Does that sound familiar? Do you know who this guy is? Oh my God. Okay, he was around in the 50s through the 90s. This guy passed away years ago.
No,
that's
I do
why I
not
have
know.
never heard of him
I do
before.
not know.
Alex. That's
Ooh,
why.
What's the best WWE video game? It's not even close. WWE Raw versus
SmackDown.
SmackDown 2008.
Yeah, one of those years. They had a run from like 06 to
07 to, like,
09.
2010, yeah.
They had
Yep.
some unbelievable
Yep.
games.
2008 was Cena or Triple H, I think.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. 2008. This one had Cena, Undertaker, Bobby Lashley on this game. Yeah, this was an iconic game.
That one was
I
sick.
think 09 was DX, I think. Yes, it was. And then 2007, Triple H.
Yep,
John
that's
Cena.
okay. 2007 is the one I was talking about.
That's when you're talking about.
Yep,
Yeah,
Triple
this
H.
one and 08 were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely iconic. All right.
We could talk about that. UFC is crazy this Saturday.
Yeah,
me and Dante will be watching it together most likely.
Absolutely, yeah. We for the big UFC events.
We could give our predictions on that right now.
All right, let's pull up the UFC card right now.
It's gonna be a good ass card. We usually watch it, us two, Kevin, and a couple other friends. So
all right,
should be exciting.
Oh yeah, Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. That's right. That's gonna be an unbelievable match. All right, so you got Oliveira, Gaethje.
It's Rose Namajunas is fighting too.
Michael Chandler. Oh, Chandler's fighting. Is that
Tony
is that
Ferguson?
Tony? Wow.
Yeah.
And then the women's fight, you got
Who's? Let me see. Michael Chandler.
Rama.
Yeah. So it's Thug Rose Namajunas versus I don't know Esperanza.
All right. So I'm probably gonna go. I mean, is this Oliveira's second defense? I think.
Yeah,
it's
he just
his second
defended. Yeah, he
so
just
it's the second
defended.
defense.
Yep.
Gaethje, 23-3. That's tough. I might go Justin Gaethje on this one, to be honest with you. I might go Gaethje.
I'm going Oliveira because Oliveira doesn't have someone in his division that can do what he does. He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
Punching, unbelievable on the ground,
Mhm.
unbelievable up against the cage.
Yeah.
I think Oliveira is probably the most well-rounded fighter in the division at this moment.
Uh-huh.
The big thing about UFC, though, is it's so fluid, it could change literally next month.
Right, 100%. Yeah, I'll go Gaethje. You'll go Oliveira. Women's fight, I'll go with Thug Rose. I'll go with the champ on this one.
Yeah,
She
Thug
has-
Rose is a monster, and she's got the cool storyline, too.
She's got a lot of advantages.
Do you know
over
she's,
her,
like,
too.
dating, like, her manager?
Really?
Yeah, and there's a big-ass age gap or whatever. It's a little shady, but it is what it is.
And then Chandler versus Ferguson. Chandler's a crazy
Chandler's
motherfucker.
beating his ass,
I love Chandler.
Chandler's on the come up. He'll have that for a while.
I'll go Chandler. He's only 5'8". Wow, I'm taller than Chandler. Look at that. And yeah, then you got Carone versus
Donald Cerrone, so Cowboy Cerrone versus
Cerrone.
Lozon.
Oh, Cowboy.
Yeah.
Okay, I know who he is.
Cowboy's
then.
washed. He's gonna get his ass beat.
He's the favorite by a little bit.
Probably get his ass beat still.
Yeah, they both have similar records. He just has 8 more wins, but he has 8 more matches than him. So I'll go the underdog.
Dwayne Bacon, to respond to your question, Madrid's gonna win the Champions League after what just happened the other day against Man City.
That was wild.
Yeah,
That was absurd.
That was insane. I watch soccer here and there, and I always hope I get to watch a game like that, and I never do get to watch a game like that. So it was cool to see that. I think it's Oliver St. Peru versus, I think it's Shogun Rua, maybe? I don't know.
I've never heard of Rua before. I know.
Isn't he
St.
old?
Rua.
If he's had a bunch of fights, it's Shogun Rua.
He's 27-12. But he's also 25-16. So both these guys have been around.
Yeah,
for a little
maybe.
bit.
I don't know.
St. Peru looks a lot more intimidating. I'm gonna go him.
She's
And
engaged with her coach. See, I knew it.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
All right, so that's the UFC fights. All right, let's look at some other comments, and I think we'll be good. We'll be good with that.
Yeah.
All right. Can we hear? We talked about the Dylan Brooks no suspend. Josh, can we hear your opinion on Dylan Brooks' no suspension?
No
He
suspension?
did get suspended.
He did get suspended.
We talked about it earlier
Yeah.
in the show. But yeah, no, we were both on the same page there. Crown apple and cranberry.
No, Crown Apple is so sweet, dude. If you have Crown Apple like more than 2 times in a row, all you're going to be tasting is apple. It's gross.
My friend takes 10 to 12 a night at my old bar. Whoa.
Ew.
Maybe I'll try. I don't know.
It's too sweet.
I'm down for trying new stuff.
We could do a blowjob shot.
Blowjob shots are
Blowjob
awesome.
shots are great. Little BJ.
Yeah.
$4.99. Y'all hiring?
We'll keep you updated. I don't think we are at this very moment.
Is Khabib the best fighter right now? Oh, Khabib's the best fighter I
all
may have ever
time,
seen.
yeah.
I was a big John Jones guy. I think John Jones is the best fighter I've ever watched, and I still think he's the best fighter I've ever seen. But Khabib, oh my God, it doesn't look like, what is it? I don't think he's ever lost a round. Has he ever lost a round? I don't think I've ever seen him lose a round.
If I had to say, I'd say no. I would say no. I mean,
Yeah.
he's as dominant as anyone that's ever stepped in any ring. So
Yeah.
I think Khabib's the best fighter of all time. I don't think that's really an outrageous statement to make. He's like 29-0.
Yeah, I think John Jones is my favorite
John
fighter.
Jones, pound for pound, might be the best, but he also he doesn't really have that many fights because he's done a lot of stupid shit. Would you guys ever do a meet and greet? We actually did do one last summer. It wasn't really the greatest show out. I'm sure we will do stuff like that in the future. But yeah, definitely something we can do. Might just have to. I'd love Narragansett one Friday. Narragansett. I'd love to go to. I'd love to go to Narragansett.
One of our kids we went to high school with, and he's still been one of my good friends. He's from Narragansett. Shout out Eric DeGuano.
Eric, shout out to Guano. All right. All Mustache Bros merch.
I've been seeing that
I'm
comment.
not saying anything, but I'm not saying anything.
Tell me a shirt with 2 mustaches next to each other would be sick. Sitting on
All right.
like a couch. That'd be a cool ass shirt.
Hey, I'm just saying we can make some cool merch if we do that. But all right, I think that's all we got for today. I think we're good. Thank you guys so much for checking in, watching us live on YouTube. For the people listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. Join us on YouTube next time. Like I said earlier, get behind the paywall on Patreon so you can watch us live Mondays and Wednesdays as well. That's it for us. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day.
Enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your weekend. I don't think it's going to be too nice. Well, I mean, obviously you guys are from all over the place, but for us, the weather isn't going to be too great. But if it is nice, do something fun. Be safe.
Go Celtics.
And most importantly, go Celtics. Dwayne Bacon, we'll see you on Monday, buddy.
All set?